Walmart's aisles may look like a haven of affordability, but behind the neatly packaged trays of beef lies a system built on illusion. The vivid red color that seems to promise freshness is often a result of gas flush packaging and chemical treatments, methods that make meat appear newly ground even when it's not. Similar tactics show up at Kroger, where beef patties might contain more soy and water than actual beef, and at Aldi, where modified atmosphere packaging keeps old meat looking unnaturally vibrant.
Don't get fooled by the label. Subscribe now to uncover what's really behind your favorite brands and get the truth Big Food doesn't want you to see.
Safeway and Albertsons rely on brine injections and phosphates to give aging cuts a false glow of quality, while Dollar General's bargain beef frequently comes from repackaged or borderline expired stock. These practices, though technically legal, expose a disturbing truth in the pursuit of low prices and longer shelf life. Major retailers have turned freshness into a performance, and consumers into unwitting participants. The deeper issue isn't just what's inside the packaging, it's how the system encourages deception through labeling, marketing, and manufacturing shortcuts. Words like Signature Reserve, Angus Inspired, or Family Farmed Project trust while masking fillers, additives, and chemical treatments. In communities where options are limited and price often dictates choice, these tactics hit hardest, blurring the line between affordability and risk. Real protection begins with vigilance, reading labels closely, seeking out 100% beef or ground chuck, and understanding that the simplest ingredients are usually the most honest. Change won't come from stores or suppliers. It starts with informed consumers who recognize that every purchase is a statement about what kind of food system they're willing to support. Let's get straight to the point. The beef you're buying from major grocery chains, it's probably not what you think it is. You see beef on the label and assume it's 100% pure meat, no additives, no fillers, just the real deal. But that assumption could be costing you more than money. It could be jeopardizing your health. Today, we're naming names. Walmart, Kroger, Aldi, Safeway, Albertsons, and Dollar General, 5 major retailers selling beef that may look real, but when you dig into the labeling, processing, and storage practices, you'll find something a whole lot uglier. Let's start with Walmart. They're the biggest retailer in the country, and their beef section is a staple for millions of families. But bigger doesn't mean better. Walmart uses a packaging trick known as gas flush packaging. This technique pumps carbon monoxide into meat packages to preserve that bright red color, making it look fresh, even when it's not. The reality? That meat might have been sitting around far longer than you'd expect. Add to that the common use of fillers like soy and injected water, and you're not just getting beef, you're getting a chemically enhanced product designed to fool your eyes and stretch corporate profits. But that's not all. Walmart's supply chain has repeatedly been criticized for inconsistent temperature control, an issue that could encourage bacterial growth. So you've got a product that's cosmetically engineered to look perfect, but underneath the red hue and flashy packaging, it's a gamble. What you think is fresh beef may be a blend of water, soy derivatives, and meat paste that's been through more treatments than a fast food hamburger. And that's just stop one. Next up is Kroger. This one's even sneakier. Kroger's private label meat products blur the line between genuine and processed in ways the average shopper would never notice. Take a close look at their beef patties. They might say beef on the package, but unless it clearly says 100% ground beef, you could be getting a heavily seasoned filler-packed product. Additives like soy protein, flavorings, and preservatives are often part of these blends, especially anything labeled as seasoned or beef patties. These are legal distinctions that the average shopper misses, but they make a big difference. Those additives don't just lower the quality, they affect texture, taste, cooking performance, and how fast the meat spoils. You might notice it browning oddly, cooking unevenly, or tasting off. And that's not your fault, it's the product. Then there's Aldi, the discount darling. Aldi keeps prices low, and people love them for it. But there's a cost to that savings, and it's not just coming from your wallet. Aldi uses modified atmosphere packaging and strategic lighting, yes, even lighting, to keep beef looking red and fresh on the shelf. That meat could be 2 weeks old, maybe more, and you wouldn't know it. Add to that a slew of branded blends, like Pub Style or Tavern Blend, ground beef, which are often loaded with anti-caking agents, water, and soy fillers. These aren't just different flavors, they're different compositions entirely. You think you're buying real beef, but what you're getting is a science experiment, engineered to fool your senses. Aldi isn't breaking any laws. That's the most disturbing part. All of this is legal, but legal doesn't mean honest. You're being misled by packaging, by lighting, by branding branding that carefully walks the line between informative and deceptive. The result? A public that thinks they're getting healthy, whole beef when they're actually getting meat blends, extenders, and chemicals that have no place in a truly natural product. Now let's talk Safeway and Albertsons. Two names, one corporate parent, and the same dirty tricks. These stores lean hard into labels like Signature Reserve, Natural, and even Organic, but don't let the branding fool you. Much of their beef is enhanced with chemical brines, phosphate injections, and moisture retention agents. That's right, what looks like a premium cut might actually be a water-ballooned piece of aging meat that's been chemically restructured to appear fresh. Some of it has even been previously frozen, thawed, and treated to remove discoloration or odor. And yes, they can legally still sell it as fresh. These are meat marketing games that take advantage of consumer trust in store brands and slick packaging. If you're relying on labels and store reputation alone, you're being set up. Many customers think organic or signature means higher quality, but in this case, it often means you're paying a premium for chemically engineered meat that's been manipulated to look premium. And because these stores often dominate markets in suburban and rural areas, their customers don't have easy alternatives. They're stuck paying more for something worth less. Finally, we get to Dollar General and Family Dollar. This is where the beef quality drops off a cliff. These discount chains are lifelines in underserved communities, but the meat they sell is often sourced from bottom-of-the-barrel suppliers. We're talking about meat that's close to expiration or already rejected by other chains, repackaged and sold as fresh. The packaging is cheap, often oxygen permeable, and refrigeration is inconsistent at best. The result? Sour smells, strange textures, and beef that collapses when you try to cook it. This isn't about being picky, it's about basic food safety. These stores operate with minimal staff, weak infrastructure, and inadequate refrigeration. That means spoiled meat doesn't always get pulled from shelves, and in rural or low-income areas, families often don't have the luxury to shop elsewhere. They buy what's available, and sometimes, that means buying beef that's unsafe. This is a systemic failure. It's a product of neglect, of a supply chain that treats vulnerable communities like dumping grounds for low-quality meat. But it doesn't stop at the grocery level. The entire beef supply chain is optimized for profit, not transparency. Massive processors handle millions of pounds of meat, blending low-grade trimmings, injecting moisture, and distributing it across multiple brands and stores. That's how the same blend of beef and soy can show up at Walmart, Aldi, and Kroger under 3 different brand names. The system is built to be opaque. Fillers are legal, brains are legal, gas packaging is legal, and none of it has to be obvious on the front of the label. It's only when you flip the package over that the truth reveals itself. If you know what to look for, words like seasoned, flavored, or enhanced with solution are red flags. So is anything that lists ingredients other than beef. The only label you should trust is one that says 100% ground beef or ground chuck. No extra ingredients, no additives, no gimmicks. If you see soy, phosphate, or carrageenan, put it back. That's not real beef. This isn't just a food quality issue, it's a consumer rights issue. You deserve to know what you're buying. You deserve meat that isn't chemically treated, bulked up with water, or sold past its prime. The branding language, family farmed, Angus inspired, butcher's blend, it's marketing sleight of hand. It tells you nothing, and it's designed to prevent you from asking the right questions. But now you know what to ask. Look for simple, honest labels. Read the ingredients. Don't fall for the color of the meat. It might be fake. Don't fall for fancy packaging. It's a distraction. And don't assume your grocery store has your best interest in mind. They don't. They have shareholders to please and profit margins to protect. The worst part? Low-income communities are hit the hardest. They rely on these stores, often with no other options. They're forced to buy what's available, which is too often low-grade, filler-packed, or chemically enhanced beef. These are the places where reform is most needed. Not just better meat, but better infrastructure, proper refrigeration, real oversight, and honest labeling. This issue cuts deeper than just what's in your shopping cart. It's about trust. Trust in the food system. Trust in the stores we've relied on for decades. And when that trust is broken, when consumers realize they've been misled, it doesn't just hurt sales, it hurts families, it hurts communities, it undermines confidence in everything we eat. People like Lydia Shaw learned the hard way. She bought what she thought was clean, healthy beef from her local store. Turns out it was a seasoned filler-loaded blend. The smell was off, the texture was wrong, and she started questioning everything. That's what this does. It erodes the connection people have with food. It breaks the link between trust and nutrition. But there's hope. The most powerful force in the food system isn't the government, it's not the corporations, it's you. It's the informed consumer. When you stop buying low-quality beef, when you demand better labeling, when you support legislation that puts transparency first, you create change. You hit them where it hurts, the bottom line. So next time you're in the store, don't just reach for what's familiar. Read the label, demand 100% beef, skip the fancy language, and don't be fooled by color, packaging, or price tags. If enough of us make that shift, the system will have to follow. If this video helped open your eyes to what's really going on in our food system, hit that like button, share this with someone you care about, drop a comment, and let us know what you've seen at your local store. And if you want more no-nonsense breakdowns like this, subscribe and turn on notifications. We're not done exposing the truth. Let's fight for honest food together. Let's go even deeper, because this isn't just about bad beef. This is about how the entire food system has been weaponized against people who don't have the time, the money, or the access to shop like food activists. And the worst part? These corporations know exactly what they're doing. Let's go back to Walmart. You think they don't realize they're selling chemically altered, filler-packed meat to the largest cross-section of American families? Of course they do. They just don't care. They'll slap 100% beef on some products and bury the rest of the truth under vague branding like value pack or family size, where the actual ingredients list, soy protein concentrate, water flavorings, is in 6-point font on the back. It's not just deceptive, it's intentional. It's marketing manipulation designed to get past your instincts and hit your wallet before you realize what you've bought. And that gas flush packaging, it's the illusion machine. Carbon monoxide keeps the beef looking red and fresh long after it's begun to degrade. You could have meat that's 2 weeks old and it'll still look pristine in the case. The smell might not hit until you open it, and by then, it's too late. You've already paid. You've already lost. At Kroger, the deception is layered. Their shelves are loaded with private label beef blends, beef patties, seasoned chuck, flame-grilled style, which sound harmless until you check the ingredients. They're not just selling beef, they're selling a chemistry project. Additives like textured vegetable protein, soy isolates, preservatives, and flavor boosters are all fair game, and because the package doesn't technically say 100% beef, it's all legal. What does that mean for you? It means your hamburger isn't really a hamburger. It's a protein simulation. It's designed to cook faster, look juicier, and cost less to produce, even if it means your family is eating fillers, chemicals, and cheap meat byproducts that wouldn't pass muster at an independent butcher shop. At Aldi, the game is visual manipulation. They're experts at it. Modified atmosphere packaging, LED-lit meat displays, labels like Pub Style, Butcher's Choice, and Tavern Blend, all of it designed to build a story in your head. You're not just buying food, you're buying into a narrative, one that says this is artisanal, this is premium, this is what smart shoppers buy. But the truth is brutal. That pub-style patty is often a mix of low-grade beef, soy filler, and chemical binders to give it structure. The packaging can keep it red for weeks, even while it's aging from the inside out. By the time it hits your skillet, it's breaking down, releasing off smells, oozing water, not juices, and you're left wondering why dinner feels off. And yet legally, Aldi did nothing wrong. They followed the rules, because the rules are written to protect industry, not the consumer. Let's talk about Safeway and Albertsons again. These are chains that love to throw around the words premium, organic, and natural, but too often, those labels are smoke and mirrors. They take aging cuts, inject them with brine solutions to plump them up, use phosphates to retain water, and mask age or spoilage with clever treatments and opaque packaging. They present this as quality, something elevated, something luxurious. But what's luxury about deception? You can't taste the truth in a chemically altered steak. You can't see the reality behind a vacuum-sealed package. And unless you know to read the fine print, you're walking straight into a marketing ambush designed to make you feel safe, while feeding you something engineered to stretch profits, not nourish your family. And now let's circle back to where this gets truly unforgivable. Dollar General and Family Dollar. These stores are survival hubs for millions of Americans, especially in rural communities, low-income neighborhoods, and food deserts. They're not just convenience stores. For some families, they're the only store, but what's being sold in those refrigerators is often closer to expired product than fresh meat. Repackaged goods from other suppliers, beef with compromised packaging that allows oxygen to leak in, accelerating spoilage, refrigerators that aren't always held to proper temperature standards, products that smell sour straight out of the plastic, collapse into mush in the pan, and raise real concerns about safety. This isn't just corporate greed, it's neglect on a national scale, and it's disproportionately hurting the very people who are already struggling. Families who are doing everything right, stretching their budgets, trying to cook at home, trying to feed their kids something real, and what do they get in return? Low quality, high-risk meat that's more chemical than cow. There's a reason these problems persist, because the food supply chain, especially the industrial meat supply chain, isn't built on transparency, it's built on profit. Massive processors dominate the system. They sell the same meat to different brands, slap different packaging on it, and count on the fact that you'll never notice, because most people don't. Not until something smells off. Not until it cooks weird. Not until someone gets sick. That's the part they hope you don't question, because once you start digging, once you start reading, the system starts to unravel. And here's what you'll find. That beef patty you picked up on sale, it can legally contain up to 30% added water. That's not juice. That's hydration filler meant to pad the weight. That signature blend product from your trusted grocery store, it might contain soy, carrageenan, or anti-caking agents, all legal, all invisible on the front of the package. That beautiful bright red steak you saw under the lights, it might have been flushed with carbon monoxide, not to keep it fresh, but to keep you fooled. And if you think this is just a label issue, think again. It's systemic. The entire supply chain is wired to get products onto shelves as cheaply, quickly, and profitably as possible, at scale, with as little accountability as they can get away with. And unless you're reading every label, watching every ingredient, and understanding the games these companies play, you're vulnerable. But knowledge is power, and you can fight back. Buy simple. Look for packages that say 100% beef or ground chuck. That's it. No extras, no blends, no Angus inspired, flavored, or enhanced. Those are red flags. Flip the label. If it lists anything beyond beef, put it back. Soy, water, phosphate, flavoring. That's not beef. That's filler. That's deception. That's a company cutting corners at your expense. If the beef's too red, too perfectly colored, and has been sitting in your fridge for a week without browning, be suspicious. That's not freshness. That's chemistry. If your discount store doesn't refrigerate properly, or you see damaged packaging, or the meat smells sour before you even open it, walk away. Your safety is worth more than a sale. And speak up. Ask your grocer what's in their meat. Push for labeling clarity. Talk to your friends, your family, your neighbors, because every informed shopper is a threat to a system built on hiding the truth. They rely on you being too busy to read, too tired to care, too trusting to question. Break that cycle. Don't let the packaging fool you. Don't let the brand name comfort you. And don't let them off the hook, because this isn't just about one bad burger. It's about the erosion of trust. And once that's gone, we can't just take their word for it anymore. We have to demand better. If you've ever opened a pack of beef and thought, this doesn't smell right, you're not crazy. If you've ever cooked a burger that turned to mush, there's a reason. If you've ever wondered why meat looks perfect in the store, but spoils the second you get it home, now you know. It's not you, it's the system. And the only way it changes is when people like you start noticing. So if this opened your eyes, do something. Share this video with someone who shops at these stores. Hit like if you've had enough of the deception. Comment with what you've seen on your store shelves, because your story might be the one that helps someone else avoid a mistake. And subscribe if you want to stay informed, because this fight isn't over. It's not just about meat, it's about truth, it's about safety, it's about demanding better from the stores, from the suppliers, and from the entire broken system. Stay sharp, stay loud, stay watching.